we still had our governess at Buchan Hill, and we bicycled there with one of our parents to begin with, and then we did it on our own quite happily. I suppose it was about 2 miles. But on the days that some of the time, on the days that the school went to Whitbourne, the governess class went too, not bicycling because it was 5 miles, but in the bus. So we had our governess and me and my sister and about 4 other children went on the bus with all the boys. So of course we got to know the boys terribly well. And we all had favourites and they teased us and we giggled with them. And one of the nicest actually was, to me, was Tony Benn. Because he used to come and dig my parents' garden. The boys all had to do some digging for victory. There were school gardens and they grew their own veg, that sort of thing. And my father asked for volunteers to dig our garden because it was all providing food for everybody. They all used to come, and Mummy had very good teas, better than school teas, because she had food parcels from her uncle in Australia. So things like homemade fruit cake were on the menu, which they weren't probably, I imagine, anywhere else, because you couldn't get dried fruit. So it was rather popular to go and dig in the headmaster's garden. And then another time, I was very bad at maths, and I was sitting weeping over my long division of money, which I couldn't do, and I'd been kept in at playtime by our fierce governess. And Tony Benn came with a message from the housemaster's wife, said, "What's the matter?" And I said, "I can't do my maths." Or sums, no doubt. I mean, long division of money was the most useless thing, and very difficult, I still couldn't do it. And he sat down and tried to help me. So I always felt I had a soft spot for him. So Whitbourne was a lovely place. It had a moat in the garden, and then it was a very short walk down to the River Teme where all the boys swam, and I learned to swim there. So it was, in some ways, although of course we did know the awfulnesses of the war. Every now and then my father would read out when we went to some school function, there'd be a list of the boys who'd been killed. So we were aware of that, and you minded, especially if they were boys you knew. But in some ways it was a pretty idyllic childhood.